I didn't want to do this review until I saw Spider-Man on, wait for the focus, IMAX. That way you get to see the true definition of the movie, the real graphics. You get to see everything up front. I mean, Gwen Stacy's eyeballs, Emma Stone's eyes look like fish tanks. I was like, my God, is her eyes big. I could see everything in her eyeball. That's how big her eyes are. But nevertheless, she is great for the movie. And for those who didn't know, Gwen Stacy was Peter Parker's first love. That's the way it was supposed to go. That is the nature or the natural order of things. Mary Jane, who's absolutely a character I don't like anyway. She does nothing, especially in the movies that we've seen prior. You know, what we gonna do with the Sam Raimi version? That's all three of them in a ball. And I like the second one. And only the second one. First one was okay. I was like, alright, just dealing with it. You know, I like that. Then the second one came, I'm like, oh, this is good. Then the third one came, and I said, throw away the series. And they did. So I guess I was right about that. Now let's assess the movie without telling the movie. We have a bunch of similarities. You know, he's got to get bit by the spider, but they kind of touch on a little bit about the family. And a lot of people might be caught off guard. It's kind of not for kids. You know, if your kid is like 4 or 5, he may be a little bored in Spider-Man. I won't say it's Dark Knight-ish because it's not Dark Knight-ish, but it's a little dark. You know, it's just a superhero movie that's a little dark and a lot of violence in this. But I just think it's a better movie than just a superhero movie. It's a really good movie. And I thought it would be the best between Avengers and all of them. It's the best acting, I believe, out of all the superhero movies right now of Avengers. Even though Avengers had all these characters and plot, I felt that the Spider-Man movie had more connection. Like, the acting was that superb. I just felt that the villain was quite underused in this movie. I think they could have done a little bit more with the lizard. I'm just saying that I'm tired of seeing Spider-Man fight villains that are his friends. I want somebody who actually is a villain. You know, somebody who you just don't like. Somebody who's not Peter's friend and who finds out his identity. And in this movie, his mask is off entirely too much. I don't like that. Well, if you're Spider-Man, be Spider-Man. If you're Peter Parker, be Peter Parker. And did Andrew Garfield pull it off? Yes, he did. He lost about 15 pounds or 20 pounds or whatever it was to play this role, and he nailed it. He nailed it to a T. I mean, when he was Spider-Man, I really believe that he was a better Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire. But I think Tobey Maguire was a better Peter Parker. Okay, this Peter Parker I kind of didn't like too much. He's a little bit of a know-it-all or a little bit of a snob almost. You know, when he started talking about algorithms, I'm like, oh God, here we go, social network all over again. But I just really didn't like his character too much as Peter Parker. I just felt like he's a little too ballsy for Peter Parker. He needed to be a little more quirky, like Tobey Maguire was. You know, like gee whiz, you know, like really dorky and really into film. I really didn't think they portrayed Spider-Man Peter Parker as a guy who really loved film and taking pictures enough as they should have, because that's where he gets the job, you know, through his film work. I think they did a better job with the Tobey Maguire character and focusing more on that. This was basically focusing on a guy who's going through emotional issues as a teenager, is dealing with life changes, parents abandon him, he hasn't got a lot of answers. But overall, the movie's exceptional. If out of 4 stars, I'll give it a 3.5, and go see it.